Hello, friends. My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain, and we're your fuck buddies.
We are a sex and dating advice podcast where we take your sticky, sexy situations and turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
Simply put, we find questions either wandering the wilds of the internet, the barren wilds, and we wrangle them down and we haul them into this closet and we fucking answer them, I guess.
With a baseball bat.
With a baseball bat,
and
a spiked one.
Phone book.
Yeah. And then we send those answers to you via the medium of podcasts.
Yeah.
In your ears.
With our voices.
With our voices. And this here microphone.
We had a lovely live show this week, but last week.
Yeah, depending on when you listen.
I don't know why I always do that, where I'm just like, oh, God, because you could listen to this 10 years from now if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to thank everyone who came out, and we also wanted to thank our incredible guest, Trevor Campbell, from You Made Me Queer.
Say Trevor
Campbell.
Who was amazing, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm very excited Jesus, we're fucking knocking out
We're doing it.
I'm very excited for their upcoming project, which is like a spoof on like true crime, and it's going to be fucking great because everything they do is great. So that episode will be coming out at some point, and it was great. I will also say we were doing a little fundraiser for Glad Day Bookshop. Probably won't still be going.
No, it will be done.
It will be done. But we've raised at least $400 so far, which is pretty sick. So thank you to everybody who has contributed. And we were matching donations as well. So I think that's pretty cool because it's the oldest queer bookshop in the world. And I think that's an incredible thing and needs to be fucking preserved.
Yeah.
You want to get into it?
Yes. Do we want to talk about what we're going to talk about?
Yeah, this week we're going to talk about interesting animal encounters while dating.
Indulging your foot fetish.
First date picking weeds.
And someone to appreciate those heavy boobs.
Those heavy boobs. Damn. So this is a user-submitted question from the incredible Agent Winchester. Some of it's just for us. So you don't get to read that part.
Get it.
It made us laugh, and we liked it. So thank you. But there's a question that's for us, and we will share. And that is, question of the week is, what's the weirdest animal/pet encounter you've had on a date? Mine was when the neighbor's cat jumped on my boyfriend's windowsill from outside while we were getting down to business and started meowing until we paid attention to it.
That's adorable. Look, there are very few things that would get me out of fuck zone.
The only thing that distracts Dane from pussy is pussy.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be like, oh, sorry, baby. It doesn't matter how horny I am. I do need to pet this cat. I need to touch it. I need to make it love me. I need to make it purr. And then I would also be very concerned that if he's on the windowsill, he's in danger.
Yeah, I get I'm hoping you're first or second floor.
Yeah.
Anything past that, this is
I would be so worried about this cat. I would not be able to what if we fuck so hard we shake the room and then this cat tumbles like Bran from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
The things we do for love.
And now he's the king.
Now he's the king. Spoiler.
And he hates you because, it's your fault. So now the Kingsguard's coming after you. That's going to also cockblock you.
I don't want a cat to ever hate me.
No.
I'm trying to think of, I have a weird pet story. There was a time where I was just booty calling a lady, and she had a chihuahua. And literally every time I'd go over, when we were in the room, the chihuahua would shit everywhere. Damn. And it's the smallest little shaky, useless dog. And I was like, how are you pooping your body weight?
He must have been saving it up, being I think Dane's coming over this week. So
I saw her texting and smiling. So I know what that means. The only other one I can think of is when I first met my current partner. We kind of did things backwards. We had met on a dating app.
Put the vagina in the dick.
Yeah. Where we kept trying to plan dates, and she got sick, and then I got sick, and then it was around Christmas time. And anyway, we decided to, I guess, hook up before we ever went on a date. And
groundbreaking.
I know. But it was just funny that we kept trying to have a date, and then we were just let's just fuck. We know that's where the date's going anyway. And so when I went over, she had her dog, and the dog, I wouldn't say he didn't like me, but was a very excitable puppy, and literally barked pretty much the entire time. And the second I sort of kissed her, the dog was just in between us and just barking up. So that was and it had a shrill bark. Its
Oh,
bark
the
was
worst.
it was a tough bark to withhold or withstand.
Well, my partner's dog gets weird if we like hug and kiss, but it's not in a like angry way. It's just like, what about me? Like if we pick her up and like if we're just like having a hug in the kitchen or like a little kiss, pick the dog up, dog's happy. But I'm not gonna do that while we're fucking.
Yeah,
I refuse.
You need to go back to Game of Thrones and get a little like Hodor backpack for the dog.
No,
just hang out with you.
but it's funny. I had a similar one ish to Agent Winchester here, where we were kind of getting down on the couch, and then all of a sudden, doof, like sounded like someone threw a rock at the window. So we like kind of like jump, look over, and there's a dazed squirrel like on the fucking like windowsill. But there was like a plant right like after the glass. So I think they were like, I'm gonna eat that. I didn't understand glass and jumped from the tree and just smashed into the window. And like, we got lucky because the force it hit the window with, it very easily could have broken. And then they were just like confused and just jumped back in the tree and ran away. So
Pets aren't squirrels. Squirrels aren't pets.
it was animals / pets, actually.
Oh, okay.
So
Then we're back into it.
so there was a sex and dating advice show where a bear showed up. That was
Yeah.
a pretty
That was pretty
interesting one.
cool.
That was sex related.
Yeah.
And animal related, and they were us, and we were them, and it was Camp Halcyon, and it was the woods, and it was fun.
And when I perform, it's pretty much like sex.
Yeah. You got distracted.
Yeah. I
took a long time to get to the point.
spent a lot of time looking at bugs.
A lot of people were pointing and laughing.
Yeah. I guess this is my turn now. This is informal idea. How can I indulge as much as possible in my fetish when I'm alone? Be as creative as possible. Foot fetish here. Let's say I have 3 hours of time to indulge as much as I can in my fetish. My philosophy tells me that instead of having a quick fap once every day, it would be more fulfilling to have a full, big masturbation session once a week, so I can feel satisfied for the week and focus on different things. So what can I do in my case? Just so you know, I don't have a partner, don't have the money to buy stuff, so only free OnlyFans comes into a question. I like nylon and femdom, but I'm open to anything, so be as creative and crazy as possible.
Pornhub.
This man has like literally, how are you on the internet?
Yeah, and you're like, I guess it's only OnlyFans.
Still wildly unaware that the internet exists.
Yeah, you could find pretty much whatever you want for free on there, I'm pretty sure. How about you like set up a confusing array of mirrors so that you see your feet, but you're not sure if it's someone else's, and that's kind of exciting.
It's like when you sit on your own hand, so it's numb.
Yeah.
It's
that, but like you're so many mirrors that like it's your foot, but like you're actually not sure.
Maybe it's not. What you need to do is
shave one of your legs. I don't know. Maybe you're into boy feet or hairy lady feet.
Like instead of mirrors, film it, but set it on a delay. So when you wiggle your toes, you're wiggling your toes, but in 30 seconds, those toes are going to wiggle, and you're not wiggling your toes.
And mirror it too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
flip them around.
That was a right foot, but that one looks like a left.
Paint your nails a little bit.
Yeah.
So
oil them up. Get them stinky.
Get them sticky.
Get them both. Stinky, sticky.
I found this question on Reddit and went into the search bar and I typed foot fetish. That's it. Do you know how much came up?
I'm pretty sure I don't even know why I'm saying pretty sure. There's no way there aren't multiple foot fetish subreddits.
Yeah.
Like dedicated purely and solely to...
Yes. I found one of the first things that came up in the foot fetish subreddit was a 18-minute video of a woman sitting like crouched down, like on her haunches kind of. So like it was her butt and then her feet below just wiggling them tootsies. And it was like 18 minutes. I was like, there you go.
Well, it's 3 hours, so that's...
You can throw that on loop. I'm sure there are other 18-minute videos. You're good.
Yeah, I don't understand. Also, like, it's always a weird question to be like, hey, how should I explore my kink?
How should I masturbate?
But also, how should I explore my kink? I'm like, the thing that's so specific to you.
Yeah.
The thing that like, I'm sure if I was like, here's a foot video, they're either gonna be like, yes, that's my shit, or like, oh no, really? They're wiggling toes, it's smooth. I want maybe he wants dirty feet. You know what I mean? Maybe he wants hairy feet. Maybe he wants big feet. Maybe he wants small feet.
Also weird that he doesn't talk, like he says foot fetish and then at the end he's like, I like nylon and femdom.
Femdom.
Okay, like
femdom.
Femdom
sounds like a country. Like, welcome to femdom.
Yeah, hey,
femdom is
that's a sovereign nation. I would
visit.
But I'm just like, you don't go into like, what about feet? Like, do you want to watch someone giving a foot job? Do you just want to see
it being massaged? Is it like more of like you catch a glimpse of a foot? So like that's exciting, not someone being like, here's my feet.
Yeah,
boring. Like
I promise you, if you go onto Pornhub or anywhere, just on the internet, and you type like jerk off instruction foot fetish, I promise you'll find plenty of content.
Nylon femdom foot job. Boom.
Yeah.
We've done it. Like, I don't understand, but like asking people for your fetish is weird because it's particular to you that you would need to give us so much information. But at that point, guess what you could do with that information? Google.
Yeah.
It's
but like, so outside of the fetish, outside of the kink thing where you're like, oh, I don't want to have quick jerk off sessions. I'm not going to masturbate like quickly.
Mhm.
I'm instead going to do none of that. And once, like, I don't know, maybe I'm a strange breed, but when I have sex once during the week, I'm not like, well, that's it for the week.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Like, that's not exactly how my libido or sexual attraction works. Like, I could very much wake up and be like, I'm not in the mood. But then if my partner does a very sexy thing
for sure.
or touches me in a certain way, I'm like, well,
Or even
now
not
I
a
am
sexy thing. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
you're so hot.
now I am in the mood.
Yeah. I also like if I decide to just crank one out quickly versus taking a little time with it, that doesn't change how horny I am. It just changed how much time I took that time.
And it doesn't like I don't have like a horny meter where it's like I've invested 3 hours into horny meter time and I've only got 3 hours of horny time for the week. So that's all my horny time.
Yeah.
Because like I could be just as horny in like half an hour.
For sure.
Like I could have like sex for an hour and then within go get a glass of water and you started stroking my dick again and now I'm ready to go.
I don't understand, but maybe that's how this person works.
If it is, I'm jealous.
I don't know. Because
If it comes to masturbation, if I could just be like, you know what, I'm gonna lock myself in this closet. I'm gonna hook up myself.
Why it's so sticky in there.
And
hook up myself,
into like headphones. I'm gonna light some candles.
That's what people say. I love to hook up myself into headphones. Yeah, that's the verbiage.
I'm thinking like I'm getting into like my jizz matrix, right? Like you jack into the matrix. I'm jacking into jack off.
Jack in, jack off.
Yeah. So like I'm hooking in, I'm locking in, I'm getting into my zone, and I'm just gonna like crank her out, and I'm just gonna use up all my jerk time.
3 hours though, like
3 hours.
You don't have 3 hours. I know you edit too much to have 3 hours. Right now, maybe that's why you're so sad.
I would love 3 hours to just jerk off. Do you know? I would love 3 hours to do anything.
We've stopped letting Dane sleep. Actually, he's on a strict regime of just editing.
I'm gonna leave this closet and go back to editing.
In fact, every now and then when I'm talking, he's editing.
Yeah. When you hear it's way too much clicking. It sounds like I'm playing League of Legends.
It's a funny joke though.
If you've ever seen someone play League of Legends,
no, I'm very cool. I've never seen that.
Unless people don't play League of Legends, like my old roommate used to play League of Legends, in which case it was just I've got a mouse right here.
It's definitely gonna fuck everything.
Yeah, let me turn it off first. This is how
I'm sure everyone is
great.
hyped to hear that.
That's great.
Maybe that's someone's kink now, and they're gonna go jerk for 3 hours.
Hey, is this ASMR?
Is this ASMR?
What if I do this?
Oh God.
Well, that's great. That's great audio. That's great podcasting.
Damn, we're fucking professionals.
We've won 2 awards.
Hey, if you count them all, we've won.
We've won a lot, but not on this show.
No, just 2.
Just 2.
It's because we're too fucking cool for the man.
Yeah.
We say fuck all the time.
We say fuck.
I talked about putting a pussy in a dick earlier. People aren't ready for
People aren't ready for this. It's like that scene at the end of Back to the Future where they were like,
yeah, it's not a new sound you've been looking for. It's just, you put the pussy in the dick. Your kids are going to love it. But your grandchildren, yeah. What's the fuck? What are we talking about?
This guy's
like, dude, you know what you want. We can't help you with that. The internet exists. Just don't do illegal shit.
So my only thing is I would say, and I saw some people suggest
save up for that foot fleshlight.
You could do that. I mean, that's
which is like the weirdest. Have you seen those?
No.
So it's a foot.
I was trying to like figure out where it goes.
Okay.
The heel?
Guess where it goes.
The heel?
The heel? Okay. Do you want to have a second guess?
Like that's, or like in the ankle.
Yes.
Like those are the only 2 places that.
Imagine a foot and then an ankle and then like the base of the shin. And then if you cut off the leg and it's like the base of the shin, you're looking down. That's where it is, which is really weird. Because like,
I guess you can like still see the foot, like still manipulate foot time.
It's like, I love feet. I'm gonna fuck where your bone should be. Like, now here's a new bone.
Yeah,
it's my pee-pee.
My only thing for you, my dude, is don't be gross with people who aren't participating in this, right? Like, don't go onto women's Instagrams who are, just curled up in the couch with a coffee and their bare feet, and you're like, I want to suck those. Like, that's not for you.
Hey, girl, I just did a 3-hour session, so now I can think about things for the rest of the week, just to your little piggies.
Yeah. Like, don't, like, if people are just posting pictures and they happen to be bare feet at the beach, cuddled up on the couch, like, whatever.
Yeah, that's stuff you keep to yourself.
That's, like, I'm not saying you can't, but...
Well, I'm not, because I know you won't listen. But what you can't do is communicate that fact to them.
Yeah.
Or be weird about it.
Yeah.
You can be a silent admirer from a long internet way away.
Long way away.
And then keep that with yourself.
Yeah, that is my only sort of like, don't do that. Don't bring people into your fetish or into your sexual deviancy that have no desire to be a part of it.
So, our upcoming Patreon episode deals with first dates. And I want to read this question. And by upcoming, it might already be out because we don't know how time works. I want to read this question during it, and I totally forgot.
Okay.
So let's do it now. And I think it'll fit nicely because the Patreon will be out roughly now-ish.
Yeah, around here.
And it's great. It's fun. We already did a deep dive into going out on a night out and like pulling, for lack of a better word. And this is, if that goes well, or if online dating goes well and you want to go on a first date, we give an extensive guide on how to do it. But this is one I want to bring. This is by Brains for Breakfast 69. Girl invited me over to help her weed her garden as a date. Basically the title, haha, we matched on Tinder. She's extremely pretty and we have a lot in common and I'm really interested in her. She has some pictures of her gardening in her profile and I was asking her questions so it didn't come out of nowhere. Conversation was going really well, so I asked if she wanted to get to know each other in person. She said yeah, and asked if I wanted to come over and help her weed her garden. I said, haha, as a first date. And she responded saying, yeah, it's a relaxing activity to talk and get to know someone. And she could really use some help because we've had a lot of rain lately. I honestly don't care what the first date is and don't mind weeding. Would happily do whatever to get a chance to spend some time with her. But I'm wondering if it's a red flag that she's asking me to help her with a chore as a first date. She's 24. I'm 25.
I get it. I get the hesitancy of being like, oh, is this like just your plan? Like, is your next move to being like, oh, I would love to meet up with you, but I'm like cleaning out my attic. You're welcome to like come over and help me. Or like, oh, I'm mounting my TV this week. Like,
if you get that plow and plow field 36 for me.
So like, I understand your hesitancy. However, I think she's correct in the sense that like, this could be a fun first date.
I think it's kind of cute as hell.
Like, I think you have you need to take a little bit of initiative and be like, great, you're going to bring like sippy cups so that you're not getting dirt and grass and shit in your cups. So like bring something to like put a drink of some like a wine, a cooler, a seltzer, a beer,
tea,
whatever you guys want.
Is.
And I think you need to like, it's your job to turn this rather mundane, kind of grueling activity into a fun event.
I think it's not mundane and grueling, really. I think it'll be fun.
Well, I mean, like,
I guess how much land she got. And if
like,
she got a lot of land.
Weeding's a mundane thing. Weeding isn't a...
I mean, like, I think it'll be fine. Like, no one has fucking gardens these days anymore. We're all poor. We're all dying. The world is so bad. So I'm sure it's a small patch. I think it'll be fun. I think, like, the act of it being a date and you getting to know each other will make it not grueling. In my opinion, the danger is what you're saying. Like, if the next date is... help me move my couch. And then the next date is like, the first one's fine. Because this is kind of cute. I think it's interesting. I think it'll be fun. And you're at her place and you're going to get dirty.
And you said like, oh, I would do anything to.
Yeah.
So then like, okay, great. This is anything. Take the shot. And if you get the vibe, like if you go there and she's like, oh, I just got to go jump on a phone call real quick.
Yeah. Can you just weed this garden?
And you're weeding it by yourself. Then like, fuck off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, then just be like,
oh, I'll wait for you. Like,
yeah.
And then, like, just like, don't get taken advantage of. This probably isn't that, but if they're being weird, if they're making you do all the work, or if the next date is also a chore, you understand what's happening and you bail, right? I don't think the first one's an issue. I think it becoming an ongoing pattern and you continuing to do it, that's the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I think you should take steps and have plans to do things within this gardening.
Yes.
City,
so
right?
like bring a cool drink.
Bring
get
something to
takeout
drink
at some point.
Yeah.
Like,
offer to, or like make a little picnic and be like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's take a quick break. And like, oh, like So I think that would be impressive for me if someone was like, "Oh, you've thought of this as a simple task that you've also now
Turned into a
have made
more-
quite
yeah.
romantic, have made quite cute, have made quite you're like, this will be memorable, right?" And I think it's kind of your job to do that. I think if you bring that energy and that sort of like that move, I think you're fucking golden. Like
Yeah.
I cannot
Don't
imagine.
overdo it.
Yeah, like don't show up with like a fucking like limo
Moe
and
and you know, and also maybe just float the idea first, like, oh, I can make us food, like I can do it, you know, just so that you don't put in this effort, show up, and they're like, I just ate.
or she's like, I'm vegan.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's always like there's things you need to like think, but like I think that like pitching an idea,
Yeah.
and being like, okay, great, like we'll do that, and then if you want, I'll make some like boozy lemonade.
Yeah.
And you know, I'll make like a little picnic, and when we need a little break, we'll have a little picnic and, you know, get to know each other over drinks and stuff. And
Yeah,
it's like,
and that makes it more fun for you. It makes it more special for them, and it ties the whole thing together. And I think it could be really cool.
and it sets the tone that like this isn't just weeding.
Yes,
Right? Like weeding is a rather unsexy act. So like
says you.
but I do also
You
like
get dirty, bud. Have a you
dirty's
know, like,
not sexy.
okay, I'm sorry. You've all seen the movies, like they're painting and a little paint on the nose.
That's
Just
not dirt.
Get dirt and smear it on their face, right? Like it's gonna be so adorable. A little dirt fight,
A little weed
a
fight.
little dirt. Yeah, you fucking stuff a weed in their mouth, make her eat it.
Blow the dandelion like balls into her face. I mean, like you are also in the position that like you're gonna be outside and working. If you're confident in your body and you want to show, have your like t-shirt on or whatever, have your pump cover on, right, and then like be like, who's hot? Just take that off.
And then smear dirt on it.
There's a lot of
Put
opportunity.
your toes
here.
in the dirt. See if she has a foot fetish.
Yeah.
Go
And
Hobbit.
if not,
Hobbit feet, man. They're
take a
in.
picture, make it a free OnlyFans
Send it
account
to our
for
first
this man.
one. Yeah. He needs help.
This is
Pump cover 12.
Christian Louboutin. Wait, hold on. The? I don't think so, but who knows? I, a 24-year-old female, feel weird about my boobs in sexual situations. For starters, I'm not insecure about the size of my boobs in general. I'm a 38G, and for size, I think they look nice. However, even though some may be surprised, I don't really feel attractive with them in sexual scenarios, and I don't want them exposed. In other words, I feel like it doesn't make me more sexually attractive. Part of the reason is because I always run into men who literally aren't into boobs at all, are mostly ass men.
Who are these boys?
Nothing is wrong with that, but I'm like, dang, I wish someone would find and appreciate these heavy things. And as a person who likes breast play, a lot of people that I've met so far didn't want to do it for so long, so it's obvious they aren't into it. It's also very weird for me to be in front-facing positions such as riding because it does way too much jumping. And that feels weird because obviously the men I've been with weren't into that. So now I'm insecure about them being seen and isn't fond of having sex with the lights on. Hell.
So, like, an ass man doesn't just like ass.
There's a lot here that I think is being misconstrued or projected on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have a hard time believing that if a man finds you attractive and you have 38G boobs, that hasn't contributed to
especially
his
if you
appeal.
Say you like them and they're good and all that. Like, I don't, like...
Like, chances are that man is like, them titties, though.
Maybe he's just sitting there and admiring them. Like,
and also, for me, if someone has an incredible butt or incredible boobs, I think it's nice to spread the love and appreciate so that they don't just feel, because I'm sure 90% of the people that they've been with have been like, your tits are huge. I love your tits. Your tits are great.
Like, what about the rest of me?
Yeah. And it's like, I think it's nice to like every now and then, if you hook up with someone who's particularly busty, that you'd be like, you got a great ass.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm sure they don't hear that often, because I'm sure they only hear the one
just
side of
because
things.
there's a star of the show doesn't mean there's not a whole supporting cast.
Yes.
Right? Like, some of which, best supporting actor is still a great fucking prize.
And usually more entertaining.
Usually more entertaining.
Than the lead.
Right?
I don't know if that's a good body message, but...
Yeah, no. Yeah, so I would love to know how much of this is assumed, because I'm thinking a lot of it. I'm thinking there's a lot of assumptions going on without hard facts, one, if you're an ass guy, anyone I've met, it's not like I just like ass. It's ass is my favorite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like no one I know is like, I hate titties. I fucking hate tits. Just butts.
And also, I cannot believe that a person who's like, I'm not into boobs. You know who I'm going to date?
Someone with huge
Someone
boobs.
with ginormous boobs.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Like, that's not what's happening.
Yes. Do you ask people to play with your tits in whatever way you want?
That's another great point.
Because it seems like they did a bit and then they didn't, and you assumed they didn't want to, and you want to, but didn't tell them, and that's
the thing. It's like, for me, I love playing with boobs.
Mm-hmm.
I like sucking them, playing with them, but like, I think there may be I think it's a two-prong or like two potential situations here. One, because of the size of them, I think I wouldn't want to almost like fetishize them. So
Sure.
I wouldn't want to like really.
It's kind of like complimenting the ass when you've got these great boobs. Like, again, if your whole thing is that, it feels like you're reducing them to just one thing, right?
Yes, and if that's the only thing I'm paying attention to,
yes.
right? Like if I'm just playing with your boobs and I'm not, teasing you or fingering you or going down on you or whatever, I would be like, okay, it's going to come across that like the only reason that I'm with you is to just like play like single focus, like, blinders on, and it's just like, it's titty time. Wants. And if that is, like you said,
that's the thing. You need to communicate, and you need to communicate what you want and how you want it. Right?
Yeah,
if you want just nipple play, if you want like rubbing or sucking or like be specific, no one's going to be bummed if someone's like, hey, do this thing. They're like, cool. That's one thing I don't have to worry about because you're telling me what you want it and how you want it.
And it's hard to know how much of something. It's like, are you like what is your like verbal and physical, sort of outward displays of appreciating? Like, are you so insecure that when people are playing with them, or are you like, because you're like, oh, I don't like showing them. So if they're not exposed, then people might say, oh, okay, you've got big boobs. And because I know I've dated people and I know people who have particularly large breasts like to keep a bra on because it's during sex, they're all over the place. They hurt. They're bouncing. Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of people
guys everywhere.
Yeah. A lot of people I know are like, I like to wear a very sort of supportive bra during sex because one, they make my tits look great and I'm more comfortable and confident with them. And two, it's so distracting when they're just like fucking flying all over the place. And it's like, I'm glad you told me that. I won't take your bra off next time, right? Yes. Like you have to let me know this. Otherwise I'm going to be like, I want you naked because I want to see you naked.
Yeah, I want to see them titties.
So it's like
if you're so insecure, as you mentioned, it's like, are you recoiling or are you like making a face or do you get like weird when someone's playing with your tits?
Yeah.
Even if you like it, if what you're presenting comes across as dislike, a good partner is going to be like, okay, they don't want that.
Going to back off.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling it, you're not into it. So I think you need to do a couple things.
Communicate.
When you have a partner and you like having your tits worshipped and you like having your tits praised and you like having your tits played with, explain that to them. Be like, hey, and even if you want to tell them, even if you're like, hey, I'm a little insecure about the size of my boobs. During sexual situations, I'm super aware of them. But here are the things that I like.
Yeah, me too.
I'm so aware of them.
I'm very aware of them.
Still, yeah, like, and be like, these are the things I like. As Nal said, like, be specific.
Yes. Don't be like, just focus on.
I like tit play.
Yeah.
Like that's. Do you like pinching? Do you like sucking? Do you like biting? Do you like
rubbing?
Just
do you
nipple
like just
play?
Squeezing? Do you like no nipple play and it's just all about the boob?
Yeah.
Like,
do you want them jiggled around?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Want to slap them? Like, you need to tell people.
Yeah.
And if they get weird about that, that's not someone you want to sleep with. So there's no downside here. The two routes are you weed someone out or you get good loving.
Yeah. And that's really the best case scenario in a sexual situation. You either know that you don't want to sleep with them again or you are satisfied.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, like, stop making assumptions, right? Like, if someone played with your boobs a little bit and then stopped, don't just be like, oh, they hate my boobs.
They hate it, or they don't like doing that. They don't like me. They don't like my boobs.
Yeah.
No.
Communicate. Don't make assumptions because you're obviously filtering all this through insecurity, and that's always going to be the worst option, which probably won't be the real, scenario.
Yeah. Like, so I've been with women who have like, we'll be doing foreplay stuff, and like I'll go down on them, and then like they'll be like, your turn or whatever, and or like I'll lie down and like they'll give me head for like 30 seconds, and then they're just like on top of me, and I'm like, sure, would I have loved it for a little longer? No, or yes, but like I'm going to assume it's like that you're so turned on that you just need to fuck, right? So like it would be very easy for me like, oh, she hated my dick. it doesn't taste good. It's
like,
whatever.
She barely could do 30 seconds. It's just
I guess she hates giving head. It's like, no, like situations and context matter. Like, and like, if it's a persistent, like if it's a constant, if it's a pattern.
If you never get like oral and you want it, you could be like, hey, I've noticed like 30 seconds, like I'm starting to really enjoy it. And then you just stop. Like, that's kind of a bummer. And then if for some reason they do have a thing or whatever, you work it out. You don't just assume. She might just be like, oh, you were hard and I was horny. So
yes, it's like, you know, you made me come like 3 times with your mouth, and
also
I just needed something inside me.
It could have been that their ex, that's all they needed, or their ex didn't like going too far because then they wouldn't last, or whatever. Like, there's so much shit going on under the surface.
Yeah,
like their ex might not have liked tit play. You know what I mean? And because you've never said anything, they go, oh, this person's in the same boat, right? Yeah. So fucking communicate. Don't take people saying they're an ass man or whatever to heart. I don't know. That's weird.
Also, you must know that they like your boobs, because if someone was so repulsed by boobs or didn't like boobs, or
they wouldn't date big boob person.
They wouldn't date someone,
which again is reducing you to big boob person, which we're trying not to do in this conversation.
Yeah.
You're fine. You're fine.
You're fine.
You're fine.
Just
if you're uncomfortable with them moving during sex, you can wear a bra. Yes. You can wear various types of bras. Some are pretty revealing, so you pretty much have your tits out anyway, right? There are ways to do this. Communicate. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. I believe in you. This one is a fun one, and that fun one comes to us from Batman Comics 123. A girl told me I look like Thursday. That's a good response. I'm scared of sounding awkward. It's on Tinder, for your information. And I already kind of like this girl in real life. I'm panicking at the thought of saying something cringe. What can I respond with? I seriously got zero riz. I feel like I always end up sounding so awkward. What do I say? I want to learn. I thought of saying something like, elaborate, please, because I don't get her message. Help me. I'm a big noob. It would mean a lot. Thank you in advance.
She said he looks like Thursday? I don't know what that means.
I think it could be like, oh, you look like Thursday, as in Thursday's plans. Oh. You know what I mean? Like, you look like Thursday. Great. When should I pick you up? You know what I mean? I feel like that's a pretty good way to go about it. Or you say that's the third best day of the week. Great. That's pretty high up.
I mean, like, I get it, dude. I also, like, if someone sent that to me, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But my response would be, you look like Friday morning.
Exactly, right? You gotta
like,
play.
That's where I would go with that, and just be like, like,
I'd be like, do you want to lock it in then? You know what I mean? Like, you can play with this in any way you want. Be like, oh, take it literally and be like, yeah, Thursday's a pretty good day. Thanks. I'll take that as a compliment. I think you look like, and you could go really complimentary like Saturday. Or you could be weird and be like, you look like Tuesday. And you'll be like, whoa, why Tuesday? And then you say Tuesday's my favorite day because I do X, Y, and Z. And like, have a little fun with it.
You look like Wednesday, hump day.
Damn humps.
Right? I don't know. It's a bad message to send. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I also don't think there's any harm with being like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, that's honestly, like, knee-jerk reaction would probably be my, like, the fuck does that mean? Like, and I think that's, like, to me, that's fucking funny. If someone says weird shit to me, like, just being like, I don't get it, like, is bad. But if you're just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I think like, add a little laughing emoji in there just for, you know, you don't want to come off aggressive or dumb. But if you're just like, what do you mean?
What does that mean? And then laughing emoji?
Yeah, or you could even be like, are you saying you want to go out Thursday? Like, laughing emoji? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. And if they get weird, then this isn't the person you want to date. But like, play with the space. You know what I mean? Either have fun, back, riz a little. Just like, elaborate, please, is boring, right?
Yeah, you're not a fucking professor.
Yeah. Could you expound upon that hypothesis?
Yeah. I'm going to need to extrapolate the data in order to figure out what you mean. What the fuck are you doing? Just have fun.
Well, your thesis statement is somewhat unclarified. I was wondering if you could boil it down into a more robust set of points.
Like, you have two options when these things happen. Either try to, like, play along with the joke, whatever it is, and if you don't get it, then, like, maybe shoot a shot in the dark.
A shot, like being like, oh, Thursday, great day, so thank you, compliment, boom, that's fine. You know what I mean? If she means something else, she'll be like, no, I mean, great, that's fine. You made a funny. Or being like, you know, there's so many ways you can do it, but like, if you misconstrue what she says but say something funny, that's fine.
Yeah.
Hopefully she will either be like, wait, what are you talking about? And you can like meet in the middle and like explain.
Yeah.
Or you just say, what do you mean?
And then like, if they're just a person that talks like, look, I met a lot of fucking women on Tinder who will just say things, like, just words that they think go together. And you're like, what are you talking about? And they'd be like, LOL. And then like, you never hear from them again. that might be the case. Like, this might just be a person who was high as fuck or drunk or just
autocorrect.
Yeah. Right? Like,
maybe they're saying you look like Thor. Are you buff as fuck? Or do you have a giant dad belly?
Or do you have...
Dad belly is not the word. But
dad bod?
Dad bod, beer belly. I kind of got lost in the middle.
Constantly carrying a hammer around?
Yeah. I will say this one's a pretty good one from the comments. You look like Wednesday. I come after you.
Nice.
Right? There you go.
That's good.
Make it sexy. Have a little fun with it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be weird.
You don't have to be.
But you can.
You can
that's
be.
a choice. Yeah. I think it's a bad choice. Unless it's good weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be good weird.
I have another one I can hit you with quick.
Yeah, please.
This is by Pay Impossible 6912. Avoiding eye contact all of a sudden after intense stare game for 4 months.
Oh, no.
This woman in my office, she always had eyes on me wherever I went. We held eyes for 4 or 5 seconds for no reason, smiled at each other, greeted, etc. every day. Can't deny I enjoyed the attention with truly no intention to push it further, even though I liked her, which I didn't even try for 4 whole months and probably never will. I realized I worked too hard for my career to sabotage it. Also been a shy guy all my life. Just want to understand, since few days, she would look at me the same, but when our eyes meet, she quickly turns away, sometimes bumping into things or acting fidgety. Other times, she wouldn't just look at me, no matter how close I am to her. What changed? Still, after all this, she tries to find a spot and sits next to me. Again, fleeting glances when I catch her eyes, and she turns away animately.
Like, it's so heartbreaking when we get questions like this, because I'm like, you've turned what could have potentially sounds like a little bit of flirty office glances, right? Like having that across there, but like it went so sinister so fast.
So weird. It got so weird. You glared at a woman for 4 months, actively knowing you never wanted anything with this person and also not interacting with them. And then you were like,
well, they said they say hello and like greeting each other.
Sure.
So it's like I don't know what the office situation. Like,
well, they said didn't even try and probably never will. I'm not a shy guy, so I'm assuming like what I mean with interactions is like
you've never had a conversation.
You're like, oh hey,
but it's like they also sit next to you as well, or sit near you. I guess at lunch.
After all this, she finds a spot and sits next to me, fleeting glances.
Yeah, I mean,
also, can we just point? She won't look at me, no matter how close I get to her.
I mean, that's
why are you getting? How close are you getting?
How close
to
are you getting?
I would also be averting my eyes.
Yeah, I would
just, like shuffling.
If there was a man just slowly encroaching in my personal
like
space,
Jamiroquai sliding.
Yeah, I would also just be like, And like, look, I love a good, calling someone's bluff. Like if you catch someone's eyes and like just keeping that eye contact and giving them a fun smile, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it throws people off, and I think it's a great
4 months.
But for 5 seconds, that's too long.
5 seconds for 4 months.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot here. She's also doing weird shit. She's also doing things that don't make sense.
The fact that it lasted this long is wild. You know what I mean?
And
if it was like, we had a few days of like, and then it never went anywhere. Sure, yeah. But like, you can't expect this to have kept going when you, one, will not act on it, but two,
it is still going though.
It's not, she barely looks at him.
But it's like, she's not reciprocating the look when he looks. It seems like it still says she's like looking at him.
Yeah, probably in fear.
Yeah, making sure he's not getting close to her.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, it seems weird. Like if we take everything at face value of being like, if someone was making me uncomfortable, I wouldn't sit next to them.
But like, so
maybe just keep your enemies close.
Enemies close. This person is so strange that I don't believe that they're giving us a reliable. Like, they're not a reliable narrative.
But he's so strange that he's giving us bad things about him.
But he doesn't think they are, which means he's so strange.
But which means, in my opinion, it makes him a reliable narrator because he doesn't know what he's doing is crazy. If he was unreliable, he would have left out the like, I get real close to her.
No, but the thing is, he doesn't realize that what he's doing is creepy, but he doesn't realize what she's doing is normal. So, for example, sits near to me. I'll bet you it's like at lunch and they have a small office or something, right?
Fair.
Or like they have desks next to each other and he's like, I knew it. You kinky bitch. Like,
you kids, stay away from me, you whore. Yeah, I don't know. It's...
Even if you like the attention, it will not last forever if you do not, or will not last if you do not give back. At some point, your lack of engagement is going to be like, okay, he doesn't want to be involved with me, which you don't, because you say this.
Yeah.
So what are you looking for? Are you looking for someone to just kind of like, I fuck you forever?
Does sound nice.
It does sound nice.
If I was in an office, I think that would be the best part of my day.
I don't think so. I think you'd hate it eventually, pretty quickly.
I guess it depends
Especially
on
if you
who's
weren't
doing
anything. With
If,
it, right?
if it was,
if you just had some rando in the corner, like every day, I think that would get weird.
maybe.
Especially if you didn't want to and had no plans of doing anything.
My views of what an office is very skewed because I've never worked in an office.
I've worked in an
So
office.
it's
generally very old people who are boomers.
as I've recently learned, perhaps I might be into older women.
That's fair.
So,
but you're into like retirement home women.
yeah.
This
They
makes
would-
sense,
they
but
would
I'm not
be
going to
working.
explain it.
Yeah, we're not going to explain that at all. That's for us.
That's for us.
That one's for us.
So I don't know what you're looking for here, bud, but maybe stop creeping out your fucking coworkers.
Yeah.
Shit or get off the pot.
Or just don't stare at people.
Yeah.
Just like there's no need. Like you're also shooting fleeting glances at her as well, because presumably once you like look at her, you're not just staring at her after she. I mean, I guess he is watching what she's doing. I mean, I think you've gotten to the point, like, if this is a crush, I think you've gotten to the point where she's so confused as to, like, what she should be doing.
She's just giving up.
But she's still looking.
Everybody looks at everybody else at work. There's nothing else to look at, especially if that person is dead-eyeing you from across the room and creeping up on you.
Then I wouldn't look at that person. I wouldn't constantly shooting glances at a person I didn't want to be looking at me. Let's say, I work in a bar filled with crazy people. If I don't want to serve that person, I'm not looking at them.
Yes,
because the second you look at them, you've made a terrible mistake. That man is coming over, and
if you're worried about what they're doing, every now and then you're gonna cast a little quick eye to be like, okay, is he going for those like that tips in the corner? No, he's not. Okay, wait, is he approaching that table? You're always gonna be like, wait, what's he doing? You have to. You know it. You know it's true.
I don't know. If there's a guy at the bar and I know he's looking at me, I do not look at him.
Okay,
he
but
goes
imagine
into the
if that guy was in the bar every day.
They are.
The same guy every day.
They are. They're always there.
You would look at him. Don't fuck with me.
No, I would avoid eye contact.
You're a
I'm
liar.
very good at it.
You're a liar.
I put people in the negative zone. That's what I call it.
So back to Ben 10, huh? I'm going to hit you with some quick. It's that time of the day. It is dating profile reviews. And we got a few. And yeah, it's going to be great. This is a Hinge prompt. What if I told you that I have a car in New York City and I'm better at parallel parking than anyone who's ever tried to unnecessarily help me parallel park?
Hell yeah. I would like this if it's a lady. I would hate it if it's a dude. That's
very true. That's very true. I will say though,
I think if it's a woman, she's being like, "Fuck off."
Yeah,
stop trying to mansplain parallel parking. I think if it's a dude, I'm just like, it's kind of a nothing. It's kind of like a, okay, cool.
Well, if it's a dude, I'm like, if someone's trying to help you, you're probably doing something wrong. Let's be fair, right? I don't think people are just stopping to be like, "Whoa," And two, it's like, why this? Of all things, why this? You've that much of a chip or a trauma on your shoulder about your car? Like,
I think we're missing a little cultural.
Yeah, but
I think we're
the
missing
cultural references that New York people are fucking
bad drivers.
Yes.
So I think there's a little bit of that. Like, I understand. There's sort of like a New York meta, and I've seen it from like the like overheard on MTA Instagram and stuff, where like people will there's almost like a sense of humor that only exists within New York City based on New York City things. So like I'm not going to be too concerned about the content. I think it really does come down to if it's a lady. Sure. I think I'm like, okay,
I'll give you more of a pass for sure.
Yeah, it's
going to be a 5 for me though.
Yeah,
because I think it's a 4 if you're a guy, a 6 if you're a girl.
Yeah.
In general, I'm not excited by your car.
Yeah.
Together, this is also Hinge. Together, we could recreate Shrek. I'm Shrek. You're Fiona. We could adopt donkeys.
Dude, I'm down. My favorite animal is a donkey.
It's pretty cute. It's pretty cute.
So if you ever if anyone's listening and they want to just send me pictures of donkeys, if you have a donkey, I fucking love donkeys. I think they're so fucking funny. Have you seen? I'm pretty sure it's all fake. Of like the Shrek book.
It's like God, the son hates Shrek.
And he like shoots a cloud.
Yeah,
it's
very good. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Yeah,
there's the fear that you're too into Shrek.
Yes,
I know some people say that's not possible, and
you can be.
You can be. I know. We just lost every fucking listener.
We've the last person listening to the show just closed the app.
This is blank, but his picture is him leaning against a Jeep. Looking for short term, open to long. About me: successful, funny, good looking, rich, charismatic, punctual, sober, hardworking, efficient, and a decent human being. I am none of these things. Went to school at the University of Hard Knocks.
Damn.
My dream job is none. Who the fuck dreams of having a job? Life's too short to indulge in small talks. If I had 20 minutes left to live, I would roll a joint and go for a drive.
Hell yeah. What a cool guy.
That's what you learn at the School of Hard Knocks, bud.
I was already like, that first list, I was like, these suck. These are boring.
But then he flipped on his head,
And
bud.
then he flipped it. He flipped it down and reversed it.
Yeah, you fucking don't. You can't even catch up with blank 32.
Yeah. This sucks. This is a bad one.
Whoa, what are you talking about?
The thing for me, I always want to see the people who match. Because, like, I know he's probably getting a few matches. And depending on how he looks, maybe a lot of matches. And I would love to, like, see the thought process. Like, I'd like to see, I would want to go and be like, show me your work.
Yeah.
Like, what path did you take?
I know what answer you got, but I want to know how you got to that answer.
I want to see how you, hopefully a self-respecting woman or man, whoever.
Probably not, if they've read that profile.
And, like, how did you do the mental gymnastics to be like, this is a good idea? This one.
I just want to be in their head when they're like, roll a joint. Go for a drive.
Honestly, like, that's probably the best part of that whole profile.
No, actually, the best part is who the fuck dreams of having a job. Because bud.
Because also, yes.
Yeah, bud.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that actually won me back.
Well, no, because there are jobs that I would like to do.
I do understand where they're coming from, though.
Yes.
Fuck capitalism. So,
yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh, man, are we turning around on this guy? Because right now, that's like half his profile that we've just agreed with.
And he did flip your expectations, which is good comedy.
That is very good. I love a subversion of expectations.
I can't remember what the fourth one was.
It was him entering into our hearts.
Damn. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. That's going to do it for the show, friends. We are all done for this week. We love you, and thank you very much for listening. If you want to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/fbuddies, or you can go to fbuddiespodcast.com and click the Patreon link. As Nala mentioned, we're doing a new series. Instead of sort of like another episode of what we usually do, we're doing sort of like a monthly deep dive into a single topic. So the first one was about getting ready and going out with your friends, and sort of like one of the big questions is like, how do I meet people?
Yeah. That's
kind of what that first one was.
That's
like,
on a night out, how do you like pick up?
Yeah.
You know, how do you flirt? How do you find someone on a night out at a bar or club with your friends? And we actually had a really good response to it, which was great.
Yeah.
Because if not, that would suck.
And the one that's coming out this month is a first date. It's sort of like preparations of first dates, expectations of first dates.
Where to go, where not to go, how to
Yeah.
act, what to ask, what not to ask. Like, it's pretty good, in my opinion.
Weird pitch if you're like, it actually sucks shit.
No. I can say your part was good because I don't have skin in the game. So, hey, Dane, you killed your half of that.
I did a great job, yeah. And
wow.
Yeah, we did it. Subverting expectations. I'm just like blank sitting on a Jeep.
Thank you, Josh Eagle in the Harvard City, for your song, Paper Stars.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. I once tagged you on Twitter thinking you'd be like, hell yeah, I'm a podcast intro. And you never fucking did anything with that. So
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't use Twitter.
Yeah, maybe. Are you ready for some bad sex writing?
Yeah.
This is the blurb of a book that Agent Frogbox sent us. He's got the juice. Liz has always had the worst luck with love. She can't help but falling for bad boys, but they're never willing to make her a priority. Being stood up at the annual fall corn maze is the last strike against her latest on again, off again dude bro. The farm is filled with happy couples, but Liz is ready to head home and concede her losses over a cup of spiked cider. It figures. The mysterious man hiding in the corn maze has an entirely different plan. He has eyes for Liz and isn't willing to let her go so easily. He's nothing like the guys Liz is used to dating, and she can't get him off of her mind. He makes a fast and hot first move, and when he starts talking commitment, it makes Liz's head spin. Is she ready to give up everything she's ever known for the sake of true love and desire? Liz can't help wondering if she's found her produce prince, or if this is just another bad apple in her bushel. And yes, this man is made of corn.
I was going to think he was like a scarecrow or something.
Nope, he's made of corn.
He's a corn man.
And this is the book Corn Daddy.
Oh, I love that. At first, I thought you said Lizzo, and with the first sentence of being like, he's got the juice, I thought it was just going to be a bunch of Lizzo puns.
I wish. You were just waiting. Like,
yeah,
this sucks.
Yeah, I was like, where's the truth hurts? It would be so easy to write a Lizzo-themed romance book.
A corn-shaped man, the size of a man, would hurt.
It would. Ripped for your pleasure, though. My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain.
And we've been your fuck buddies.